Hi all, today we're going to be talking about 4.7 UK Ground, a decent lineup that is unfortunately very match dependent on how good it actually is. 4.7 UK it's okay, but if you get up tiered, a lot of your tanks really suffer, but if you get down tiered, you generally have a decent time. Unfortunately, the vehicles in this lineup are just kinda eh. And since they're very tier dependent, how much fun you have on a given match highly depends on the rating you get to play in. So, at 4.7, you have your Sherman Firefly. It's not very good. It is a Sherman. In fact, it's one of the more early Shermans, which means, well, the engine is bad. The engine is really bad. It's slow. It doesn't feel good to use. The armor is poor because it's an early Sherman. Things go right through you like there's no tomorrow. The only saving grace of this tank is the 17-pounder, and for what it is, it's a decent cannon. Unfortunately, it's solid shot, so while you have good penetration, that does actually scale up tier fairly well. It's still a Sherman. Your turret rotation is fairly poor, your reload speed is very poor, and your gun depression is abhorrent at only 5 degrees. It's not a very good time. Unfortunately, it's just a mix of you give up literally everything to get good penetration on the gun, and while that means you up tier relatively well, it doesn't feel good to use. It feels very unfortunate, and if you get maps with a lot of verticality, it just kind of stinks. The Churchill VII is incredibly tier dependent. If you're in a down tier, it is amazing, it's a ton of fun. If you are up tiered, I wouldn't even bring it. Problem number A stems from its mobility. It's a Churchill. It doesn't move very fast, it doesn't go very fast, it doesn't reverse very fast, it doesn't really do anything very fast. But your armor is very good. You've got a 152 plate on the front and the turret, and your side armor is relatively good at 95mm. So if you're angled, in a down tier, you are very hard to bring down. In an up tier, most things will go right through you or just drive right around you. It's very tier dependent. In addition, the gun straight up sucks. You get the 75mm gun, which is fine if it's at 3.7, but now that you're at 4.7, 103 pen is ugh, and you don't even get any explosive filler to make it work. In a down tier, the gun is serviceable at best. In an up tier, it's pretty much useless. It's a decent tank, it's just, unless you're at 4.7, I wouldn't even bring it. You can maybe make it work at 5.0, but it really falters once you hit 5.3, 5.7, and you start seeing German cannons that just don't care and go right through you anyway. For your AA, this one's largely up to you. Bring whatever your personal preferences. I don't even have the Yustavak or Busvark unlocked, but if you want to bring them, you can. If you want to bring the Crusader or even the Bofors, the 40mm Bofors, you can. It largely comes down to your own personal preference. Whatever you feel the most comfortable shooting down planes with works. Of note, the Crusader A Mark I is probably your best option if you want a hybrid for tank killing, because of course you get the 40mm Bofors, which means you get fairly decent AP rounds. Your Avenger is decent. Honestly, it's probably the best tank here, and that is supremely unfortunate to say. You get the 17-pounder, just like the regular Sherman, but you are significantly faster. You have a fairly decent engine, you have a fairly decent speed. It's just a much better experience all around. The armor is unfortunately very trash, and you do not get a coaxial machine gun, so if you see open vehicles, it's going to take a while to bring them down. But it is probably the best vehicle here. Just be mindful of the fact that you have no armor. You are extremely reliant on your positioning and your mobility to make this thing work in any sense of the word. The Concept 3 is pretty alright. You do get the 77mm high velocity cannon, which is very nice, but it's an armored car. It's still reasonably fast, but of course anything pretty much shoots right through you. Brownings in particular are the absolute death of you. It's a lot of fun to use, just be aware of the fact that, well, it's an armored car. It plays a lot like the Avenger, actually, you know? You flank and you spank. That's really how you play both the Avenger and the Concept 3 here. For your plane, pick the cast plane of your choice. I wouldn't really bring a fighter here because most of the cast planes here still work very well as fighters. Specifically, if you have access to it, bring the Wyvern. It has extremely good cast potential. It has good fighter potential because you get 420mm Hispanos. It's silly fast for the BR. I'd absolutely just bring the Wyvern as your pick. So, into a battle now, as we do, as the live video recording game things go, because that's how things work around here. So, we get a match. Corellia. Ugh. Battle. Ugh. Not that good of a map, but let's see what we are for tiering. And we're full down tiered. Wow, I was not expecting that. Why do I have full HG loaded on my Churchill? Oh boy. Of course, don't bring too much ammo. You don't want to risk any ammo racked. So, as I stated, this video is live. This is all shot in one take. There's a chance that this match goes absolutely horribly, and if that happens, it's extremely unfortunate because I will probably can the recording. But if it doesn't go horribly, we'll have a good video. So the Churchill VII it's a mixed bag. As I've stated, it's really nice in down tiers because your armor is actually viable and your gun is still somewhat serviceable. However, if you're unlucky enough to get up tiered, I wouldn't even spawn it. It is just a big waste of spawn points because you will basically just get shot straight to the side, and that will be that for you. Still, it is heavily brought down by its mobility. Of course, it's a heavy, it's a Churchill, you know what to expect. There's some interesting server latency. It's fun. It's a fun tank and down tier because things just plink off of you. But good luck fighting back very effectively, and honestly, it's more so worth bringing because you can simply just hold points with it if you just angle yourself decently. It's not that good of a pick if you actually need to play offensively. Unfortunately, battle mode is not really the ideal mode for the Churchill, but you don't get down tiered in 4.7 Britain a whole lot, so we're going to take use of this advantage and try and do what we can. I think it's worth noting that I don't really like Corellia, so not a very good map, but we do what we can. However, the Churchill VII does favor more closer range maps solely because that's the only way your gun is actually going to be worth a damn. It's really the Churchill's biggest problem. You can put up with the speed, you can position yourself effectively to make use of the armor, but no matter what you do, this gun sucks at 4.7. And it's really, really brought down by the lack of explosive filler. Of course, it's British, you should be used to the fact that, well, you have solid shot, get used to it. But for having such a low pen gun with such mediocre soft stats otherwise, like reload speed at this BR, to not have explosive filler really drags this thing down. Frankly, this gun isn't very good at 3.7, and using it up here at 4.7 is really not a good time. It works, but it's just kind of mediocre. Because, well, anything with decent armor kind of just ruins you. But, since you have relatively good armor, you kind of ruin them. With this gun, I would highly, highly recommend aiming for breaches. I'm not sure what the Sherman thinks he's going to get up to. I'm really not sure what the Sherman thinks he's going to get up to, but whatever. We'll go for the cheek. There we go. Enough. First gen Sherman is always an easy kill next to a cheek. Was that a bomb? No, those are rockets. Oh, have I mentioned that you're a giant target for airplanes? I mean, it's a Churchill. You shouldn't really be surprised that you're a giant target for airplanes. Why is everybody just showing their side? But it's just something to be aware of, that airplanes kind of ruin your day. Use the binoculars there to get a cleaner shot, working well. We're going to slowly push up towards their capture point. What the hell is going on behind me? Interesting. It's weird, I'm actually hoping I'll die, because since this is a lineup review video, I do want to show off all the different vehicles here if I can, and if I somehow manage to survive the Churchill till the end of the game, that would actually be supremely unfortunate. So we'll probably play a little extra aggressive. I wouldn't recommend doing this normally, but, you know, it's for the content. Alright, that is, looks like a Wolverine, possibly. Unfortunate. Gets blown up. It is an M10. Oh. I should mention that you don't really want to expose your side. Sure, it's a 65 plate, but if you're not angled, it's not a very good plate. In general, I'm in a very poor position here. But we're going to try and get down, make ourselves work a little bit more effectively here. Wait, stop that. Why are you sitting flat to me? What's the game plan here? What? Dude, the player base has really deteriorated since I last played this game. Holy hell. Also, I'm not sure what the Stug is up to. He can literally plant a shell straight through the back of my... Literally straight through the back of my engine deck and just ruin me. But he's not, for some reason. very interesting strategy, I must say. God, I feel like I've been in the Churchill for too long and I've run out of things to say on it, but I'm not going to J out because unless you're playing on a shit map, that's kind of a toxic thing to do. So, I guess there's going to be a lot of Churchill VII gameplay. Rare that you'll actually get this much usage out of this thing. Except in down tiers, where, you know, luckily we are. Honestly, it's kind of amazing that I managed to score down tier for this video. I'm not sure why a plane hasn't just ruined my day. Hi there, Chappie. That's engine. This, oh, and there's barrel. This gun is only working because we're in a down tier, I'd like to add. Like, if this was an up tier, this gun would be just useless. You can try and keep that Chaffee spotted with markers for my friendlies. Maybe they'll be able to do something with it. Oh, hello there. Oh, a lot of people showing up. But nobody's actually gonna do anything with me. Can someone just kill me? I wanna go on to my next vehicle, please. Dude, are these like bots? Hello? What is this? Did they add co-op to War Thunder or something? Seriously, come on, I wanna die. I want to jump into another tank, but I don't want to have to J out to do so. Oh, it's just one of those War Thunder patented stomps. Man, that'd be unfortunate. That's what happens when you do these things live, but that's unfortunate. That's a big smoke cloud. When is that going to dissipate? I know the Chaffee's in there somewhere. It's just a case of hitting him with the machine gun to trigger that. Oh, there you are. Commander Radiator, unfortunate. We'll move forward. Okay, I'm perma-lit by being too close to their spawn, so I have literally no clue why even a plane just doesn't come by and reduce me to atoms. Like, what? I'm trying to demonstrate the entire lineup here. I don't want to. I'm genuinely not trying to just talk about the Churchill here, but this is what happens when you do live games. You know. Sometimes I have to can recordings because I play like ass and I just die super quickly. Other times you get shit like this. Like, I'm literally pushing into their spawn because they can't kill me. I guess I got an extremely lucky mix of everyone just having Shermans and therefore not being able to pen me. I'm not sure where all the German players are because they're almost at a spot. How am I supposed to talk about a lineup when the game ends this easily? Ah. Okay, there goes my breach. Maybe if I just face hug the Churchill, I'll be able to die. Come on, buddy. Just end it all. Just end it all, please. Please, just end it all. I don't want to live anymore. Oh. I just want to die. Oh, I might have to talk about the rest of the videos in the loadout screen. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. Somebody please just kill me. Ah. This does happen with the Churchill, or not the Churchill, the Churchill VII from time to time. I just got extremely lucky on a match. Come on, guys. It's a weak spot. It's literally a weak spot right in the machine gun fort. Come on. Just kill me. Bro. There's literally a weak spot in the machine gun fort. Literally a simple weak spot in the machine gun fort, and they can't find it. Oh. Dude, I'm literally in their spawn. Okay, maybe that bomb will take me out. No, they landed on their friendlies. Ugh. Okay, he's still under spawn protection. Seriously, what is this? What is this? Just kill me, buddy! You have a Sherman. Just aim it to the side of the turret! No! Finally! Any team kills 4 players! Oh no! Oh man! Oh no! I guess we're pulling the Avenger. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to talk about this thing. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so the Avenger. It's a pretty decent tank. It feels a lot like a Cromwell that's been given a better gun, because that's kind of what it is. The armor is still relatively poor, but if you flank and you can make use of this good gun, 17-pounder, which is significantly better than the one found on the Sherman Firefly, might I add, at the same BR, it's a lot of fun. It just demands good mobility and good positioning knowledge to actually be able to get any usage out of. They're down to 2 tanks. Oh man, I'm gonna have to talk about all these things in the loadout screen. Why must you do this, War Thunder? I want good videos for reviews. The Avenger's good. I like it a lot. It's one of the better 4.7s here. It's also the only 4.7 here that actually scales well into an up tier, because your armor's junk anyway, but your gun punches up relatively well, and your mobility punches up relatively well. It's a lot better than the Firefly, that's for damn sure. Honestly, the Firefly should probably be your last spawn, because of just how ugh it is. It's not fun to play, it's not fun to use, it's not very good. I just wouldn't spawn the Firefly most of the time. And honestly, if you're strapped for crew spots, you can drop the Firefly. It's that mediocre. The Avengers, I recommend bringing it. It's a lot of fun, it's fast, just position well, your gun will do the rest. As for the other tanks, the Concept 3 plays a lot like the Avenger. Once you get the Avenger down, you'll likely be able to have the Concept 3 down relatively fast. It's a fast armored car with a good gun. There's not actually a lot to say about it, because it's a fast armored car with a good gun. It plays a lot like the Sarks before it. It plays a lot like most other armored cars that share those traits. That's really what it is at the end of the day. The gun is really good for the BR, though. Let's see. Your AA vehicle largely comes up to you. Shoot down planes, hit light vehicles with your AP rounds. Largely comes down to personal preference. There are no players left on the hostile team. What a video. What a match. How am I meant to make a good review with these? Okay, surely somebody will get a chuckle out of this then. I wasn't planning that. I really wasn't planning that at all. Top of the team with a 1 spawn. Oh joy. Well, I guess this will have to double as the recap. Sherman Firefly, it's generally not worth spawning. It's super slow, the armor's junk, the gun depression is really junk. It's just not a good time. You pay literally everything to get penetration on the gun, and it's not worth it at this range. Churchill VII necessitates down tiers in order to make the armor and the gun work effectively, otherwise it's just kind of... I got lucky, I got very lucky in that match. It generally won't be like that. Your AA tank is largely up to you. Smack planes, smack light ground targets, it's largely up to you which one you bring. It mostly comes down to what gun you feel the most comfortable with. Avenger, use it quick, position well, smack things with the gun. Your armor's junk, but your mobility and your gun are good. And it's basically the same story for the Concept 3, except now you're wheeled. Your playing largely comes down to your personal preference, but if you can, I would get the Wyvern as a premium because it works great. It's super fast, your cast load is super good, it still works decent as a fighter so long as you know what you're doing. It's a comfy plane to play. So, that interesting video out of the way, I'm going to call it here. Thank you all, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.